life is a movie.
Well, what's up? Welcome to Team Fortress TV. We're covering the Div 2 Grand Finals of Season 30 today. It's going to be Throw Some Mo versus SLED Gang. It's going to be the first seed and second seed of Div 2B playing against each other in the finals. So this is going to be quite interesting. They've played against each other before, but I'm here, your little host. I'm HiipFire. I have my co-caster with me, DuMmTm.
Hello. What's up?
We got the big boy Wiethoofd on production. So you got yourself two middies here to cast, so it's almost appropriate to the div that we're casting here, and I'm excited for this game. I know, I'm personally a bit biased, because I know some of the Throw Some Mo players, I've played with 31 and Shader. I've actually, Yixo, the demo who's being subbed out this game, I actually trialed him, a while ago for, a mid-team, so, this is cool, seeing a lot of familiar names, and on the side of SLED Gang, there's also some familiar names, but perhaps a bit familiar to people who have seen Prem before, perhaps.
A little bit, at least, a few names here and there. Skyper comes to mind most notably.
Yeah, it's a bit interesting, with some Prem players and then some mid players, and I don't know, nice little project team. Prem players helping some lower div players out, I guess, to make it big. But yeah, we can quickly look at the pick and bans for this series. If I can quickly pull them up, as I do not have them up. DuMmTm, do you have them up?
I have them in the Twitch chat from Wiethoofd, and it's, well, not a pick ban, but I have at least the map being played, which is Grand Process Snake Water, in this order. So currently first map, Process second, Snake Water Decider if it comes to it. Same maps as yesterday for the mid-grade final, except different order.
Same div.
Yeah, if yesterday was any indicator, it hopefully will be another great game.
Yeah, the bans, so they went, Prolands and Cardinal were banned first, so the, old boy map, Badlands, and then Cardinal being banned. The new map that has had debatably not that great of a season, at least from what I can tell, people haven't really been liking the map too much, and then Granary Process get picked, and then Product gets banned, and then it is Gully, Snake, or not Gully, Snake, it's Snake Process. So basically all the non-standard maps getting banned, except for Granary. So we're gonna get to see some kind of less bog standard maps, and then two relatively normal staples of the 5 CP map pool. So it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, we're gonna see Granary first, which happened, I think, in the mid-finals as well, which is going to be pretty interesting. I'm pretty interested in how these two teams will be approaching Granary.
Who picked Granary again? Who was the first pick here?
It was Throw Some Mo that picked it.
Right, and the obvious choice to what to look at for the mid-fight is obviously the Solis here on the currently red team, I believe, on the server. So let's see what they have planned out here. Everybody knows it's a solid map. You have a lot of space to jump with. Can do a lot of nice little coordinated jumps on the mid-fights and across the map as well, but most notably the mid-fight. And just have huge impact, and it's going to be interesting to see what they have planned out here.
Yeah, so as I said before, this game, this matchup has already been played, because both of these teams came out of the Div 2B, the 2B group, so the B group of this Div, as they play with the division system, and then they play, I think it's called Swiss, or at least every team in the div plays each other. Yeah, round robin, sorry. And so Throw Some Mo and SLED Gang have already played each other in the regular season, where they played Granary and Gully. And SLED Gang won both maps. They won 6-1 on Granary and 5-2 on Gully. Gully got banned, but Granary did not. So it's going to be a bit interesting exactly how this will work out. Perhaps they have maybe cleaned their Granary up, but we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, to put as well a little bit of perspective on everything, SLED hasn't lost a game yet, I believe. And Throw Some Mo only lost 3 maps, 2 of those against SLED as well. So, yeah, they are the team to beat for them this season, it seems. And they're getting one more chance here in the Grand Finals. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah, so quickly to go over the rosters, as we haven't really gone over them properly. So Throw Some Mo is going to be the the second seed, I guess, going into this game. They actually had to play like through the lower they had to actually play quarters and
basically.
semis. Yeah, they didn't get to skip the quarters finals as Sled Gang did, and it's gonna be Seb, Cola, Shadier, 31, Ice Noob, 88, who is subbing for the Norwegian demo Yixo, and it's going to be Wild Piggy, which is I don't know, it's a decent lineup. This is definitely the more fitting in Div 2 kind of lineup. It's like people that have played in like top mid teams before, people that have kind of showed up in like lower high, but now they're playing in Div 2, and well, it's just, yeah, they've just been climbing the divs, I guess, just, you know, going without getting any Prem players into your team, and they're here in the finals.
Yeah, outside we have Sled Gang with Unrev, Miju, Demon, Sui, Skyper, and we're debating about how to pronounce his name. I say it's Soyawolo because he's Spanish. HiipFire is lazy, so he will probably be saying Solowolo. We'll be seeing later on who of us is right.
You're probably correct, but I'm just trying to, in case it is wrong, I'm just going how it's spelled as opposed to how it might be pronounced. But whatever, the game is starting. I'm going to go into the Ice Noob 88 POV because that is a great nickname, and a nickname that people might be a little bit familiar with if you've seen Twitch chat sometimes. So let's see what he got. He's going to go and roll out up to top. Skyper's a little bit faster, gets some sticky spam onto Ice Noob, and Ice Noob's already dead, gets pistol spam, and this is a bad start for Throw Samo. They're kind of just stuck behind the crates or by the choke side. 31 does jump in, but the rest of the team is already out. 31 dies, and the mid unceremoniously ends in the favor of Sled Gang.
Yeah, I often see that little pistol spam just to get some damage, but like too often just nobody really wants to actually get the kill with that, and this time Skyper just spams as well, gets that kill really early, puts him in a great position. Shady is in so much trouble, just way too far ahead of the rest of his team, taking all the spam now. Unrev getting his third kill with the pistol once again here, and just opens up the last point.
Well, at least going to be even Ubers thanks to Throw Samo just immediately leaving after their demo died, but Sled Gang getting all the space on the right side of this last point. They're getting spammed down eventually, and this heavy from 31 just forces their Uber, tries to deny this jumping soldier Demon, who does get onto Seb, does get the force off, but Unrev does die. Demon just barely survives on 5 HP, might be able to get cleaned up. There it is, the rocket does get him. It's going to be 2 players down for Sled Gang as they
two
have
behind as well.
Yeah, this is quite interesting. The Solid jumps onto second, and they actually get the frag onto both Seb and Ice Noob. The combo kind of going down for Throw Samo. Soyawolo in Yard is able to stay alive. Skyper with some great pipes. And all these players from Throw Samo just trying to get onto the point. There's so much cap time, but it's just 31 now alone to hold against 4 players from Sled Gang. He's doing an okay job, but eventually gets piped down, and the spawners from Throw Samo can't get there in time. It's going to be 1-0 for Sled Gang.
Yeah, the pressure on the second point eventually made up for what really seemed to just be a really, really rushed attempt on a last push that just getting forced so far back, not being able to catch anything. But they made up for it and punished a few other mistakes here now to get into the last point. And if I am Ice Noob, I would watch out what's coming my way this bit.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Skyper POV this time. Let's see if he has a little bit more success. He, again, is a bit faster than Ice Noob, but Ice Noob's going to go for a rollout a bit lower. Still takes 80 from the stickies anyway. A pipe also hitting a scout for 40, but it's not too great. Sled Gang sends a soldier in. Demon doesn't have much success. Shader jumps in and gets a lot of damage on the combo. No frags, but great cleanup here as 31 Wild Piggy get great frags in ramp room. It's just 3 players left for Sled Gang. They're trying to get onto Seb. Some good damage, but just Unrev with 5 HP and Skyper on 60, but Skyper's already out and Unrev gets piped.
Yeah, once this game went into the later half, the conversion off of the bombs was just better on TSM for short now, I guess is the better way to put it. And yeah, just really nicely off of the bomb by Shadier. He died pretty quickly, but like you said, he did good damage, something that Sled Gang couldn't say about their bombs in the end there, and immediately everybody just cornered them as much as they could, came in from behind. Wild Piggy, I think, was that in that case, just behind them in Garage, just blocking them off completely, picking them apart, getting the med kill, which is important, something that Sled Gang was missing and would help getting to last year.
Yeah, Throw Samo is coming in from the left side. They're getting the space is kind of given to them, and they kind of just force Sled Gang out. They haven't really entered second. They put their scout and demo on the point and just kind of playing it, and Sled Gang has left and really attempted to get the force onto Throw Samo. The cap is up. Wild Piggy did go down, but the Uber gets popped. up top. A Scout and a Soldier do get the last parts of this Uber, but they're jumping in onto all these Sled Gang players that are just playing by the spawn doors. They are safe. Nobody really goes down. Shader and 31 are down. No soldiers for Throsamo, as Throsamo's going to be forced to back off.
Yeah, they just wanted the space too badly on the second point, and they lost a player to it while Piggy just ahead of his team died. They already were super close with the push not even being ready otherwise, player-wise, but Seb was just so far forward already, taking 130 damage, eventually forced super early on the top area, and this Uber just did absolutely nothing, eventually having to abandon here as well without the numbers to back the second point off with Yard already going to TSM, and Uber advantage is still there.
Yeah, Sled Gang's trying to make their way through mid without getting forced here. These choke points are quite narrow. Soyuo does safely get through choke. Skyper gets piped though by Ice Noob, and the Uber is now up, and Demon actually going down in ramp room as well is going to give Throsamo some opportunities to get into mid, and yes, Sled Gang has already left two picks for Throsamo to go into second here. They're going into Yard. Great chase there from Shader to find another pick. 3 players down for Sled Gang, and they're just going to be forced to even let go of this second point. The Uber gets popped. It's not too great, and Wild Pig even gets dropped as well. Cola finds a frag, but no force, as Sled Gang with 2 players down is going to be holding last and trying to hold off the Sackers.
That was a really questionable Uber. I don't see the point, really. They must have known it was even Ubers. I mean, Sled Gang has advantage on mid already, so there's no reason to assume there's an Uber advantage, so at best it would have been an exchange. But they were so far away, and that chase only barely makes sense if there's an advantage situation in the first place, and afterwards I think they realized left early and just kind of hoped single bomb would fix that mistake, but too little too late. It's gonna be tough to keep the second point. Sled Gang playing it slow and careful, not wanting to drop anything or anybody here. Obviously brings Seb closer and closer to getting Uber, but as long as they do it quickly enough now, it should still be fine and just lead it to Cellmate.
Oh, but the flank from Throsamo is trying to get in, and the Uber is now up. They're trying to contest the point. The combo from Sled Gang isn't really in the greatest spot. They also have a sniper, which is actually making it quite difficult for Throsamo to get some more positioning onto this point. 31 is up top, trying to rain some spam down, trying to maybe get a force, but Throsamo is kind of disconnected here. 31's going to get double teamed and is going to go down. Ice Noob finds a response frag onto Sui. Sled Gang is not going to be attempting to push out. It's going to stay in a stalemate with TCM in Yard and Sled Gang on second.
That was interesting. The sniper kind of justified the fact that they played it as slow as they did. Quite a bit more so because just nobody can take the space that easily anymore with the sniper up. But he decided against it once he dies, not try it again here to break the stalemate anymore. So vanilla lineup it will be for now, and trying to break the stalemate that way on both sides, but definitely more so for the red team here, for TSM, since they are around down, they need to make stuff happen. Coming out of flank here with heals as well, and double sortie aggression, but they're just getting eaten up in Lunchbox.
Oh, the Uber gets popped as well. 31 does find a soldier frag, and Wild Piggy finds the other. So the flank is gone for Sled Gang, but Throsamo lost 1 soldier and had to pop their Uber for it, which is not exactly an equal exchange for TCM. So Sled Gang with the full ad is going to be waiting for their spawners. Unrev seems to think that there's something going on, trying to look if there's anybody behind, but 31 is out, so I'm not really sure what that's all about.
Yeah, another Uber that just sadly doesn't accomplish too much and just gives Sled Gang so much just room to do stuff with, already pushing over the far right side of Yard. Leaves them so far space to get in now into the shutter door and just force Lieber in the meantime. Just huge security hole basically, and now just a matter of not using here or not getting into a tough position for Seb, since he didn't have until now. 2 players now isn't too bad as long as Uber does stuff. 31 crashes into the Demon. They still have numbers to make this Uber work as long as stuff is close, but preferably it's just a matter of forcing them back by pure presence of this Uber charge, and that's what's happening so far. Everybody just leaves, respects the situation. They can't really pressure too much more outside of just like spamming over the point, but they don't need much more because as soon as the numbers are back up, it's gonna be a tough stay here for the blue team.
Weaving gets piped while trying to contest the point, goes down. The rest of Sled Gang trying to get some spam through onto that medic. Seb actually gets piped and forced. He gets his soldier in from the left side while picking Shader, trying to go really fast with this Uber, but they need to get this initial damage, and the players from Sled Gang are quite caught. Great rockets from Shader, and Cola just plays the point, and that's going to make it all tied up 1-1.
Yeah, just simply Uber push is all it needs sometimes, and took them a while to get into this advantage situation. A little bit of a mess up there as well, sure, but played it nicely around that mistakes, and converting not enemy mistakes is always something you need. Improvement was there on the mid fight as well, which after a tough start is always nice to see. Let's see how they can continue on now.
So last mid was a bit decided by the soldier aggression. It went quite well for the Throw Some Mo soldier, so I'm going to go into that 31 pop. See what he got. It's on that low ground. Shader and 31 are both going to bomb in very aggressively. Great rockets from 31 onto the medic. And Shader finding a frag as well. No heals for Throw Some Mo. The soldier aggression not really working out for SLED Gang. Everyone's down. It's just Skyper and Unrev. Unrev is the one that's still in and committed, goes down. Skyper's going to put up some sticky traps on second, and it's going to be another mid for Throw Some Mo.
Yeah, really great bomb. Just really early picks, early damage, and forcing them back. Not even allowing too much aggressive to happen for SLED Gang either in the first place, because they were just too busy trying to survive in the first place, giving them all the time and space in the world to take mid, take second. All they need to deal with Skyper throwing some pipes over the point, maybe some sticks, but they're on the Z-door, so that's not too much of a concern just yet. And still have this advantage for last, and they made it happen once. Let's see if they can do it once again. Skyper is so close, he takes so much damage early.
This Uber's not really going too great. Shader just kind of had a real issue killing Skyper before that Uber got popped, and then ran out of rockets, and that's the biggest dud I've seen in that kind of Uber push. And now Throw Some Mo lose a scout and their Uber advantage, and now SLED Gang with 40% gets pushed into second.
Yeah, just absolutely nothing got done with the super. Everybody just stood, the shutter got juggled a bit, and then you were faded. And they flashed so much as well, trying to not take damage from those like projectiles that juggled them so much, but just kind of made matters worse, since you were ended just way earlier while nobody went anywhere. So it just went from bad to worse, and now the blue team here, SLED Gang, has their Uber up and ready as well. Wait, however, take their time to collect, which just makes it kind of go even. And sure, without the Uber up until now, there's not much of a reason for TSM to take yard, but I don't know why they didn't play this a little bit faster.
It's a bit conservative. Now we're just put into a stalemate again. It's a better stalemate now for Throw Some Mo since it's actually tied up instead of being down around, but it's still less than ideal, and it's going to be quite an interesting place to break, or this stalemate is going to be quite interesting to break, as it's not really a great spot to do any off classes. Sniper angles aren't really quite there, but we'll see how this works out as a soldier jumps in. 31 just gets the force onto Soyuolo. Nobody in position for SLED Gang to get onto Seb. Demon does get the jump in, a very deep bomb, but he's going to go for Ice Noob instead. He doesn't get that frag either, so Throw Some Mo with the full ad gets to take yard. Skyper's kind of forward, trying to see if he can get some pipes and get them to connect, but he actually gets flanked by a scout. He goes down as well, and all the holding power from SLED Gang is slowly disappearing as Throw Some Mo's capping up the second point.
Yeah, just the weird unnecessary overextension there by Skyper. He's still behind trying to do something, but nobody is close to him as the U already comes to last. And this time they are not forced early, so they can just put all the pressure onto the point until the point is eventually blocked by the Uber chart, with Miju leading the chart there. Forcing everybody out, getting 2 kills as well. Color just kind of scrambling to stay alive. Seb, however, already died, which is quite important here, assuming they want to leave last with this situation right now and not just wait for advantage here.
Soyuolo hitting that saw just saves SLED Gang. If he didn't get that Uber, he wasn't going to be able to Uber Unrev, and Unrev just put down all the damage. And then SLED Gang just barely surviving. Weird little trade from 31 to get a frag onto Demon. It's not really going to have much of an effect. But actually, Sweet loses a fight on the flank as well, so there's 2 players down for SLED Gang. This actually makes it quite awkward as their Uber isn't quite up yet. And Throw Some Mo wants to try and push her in, though. People are kind of disconnected from the heals. It's not perfect. And a soldier onto the combo does eventually go down. The Uber's also almost up for SLED Gang. They need to leave fast or else they might just get overwhelmed by this Uber. It's 31 and Seb. Seb is out. 31 is escape planning out the other way. They're completely disconnected. A chase is on. Unrev just holding that W key onto Seb. 4 shots all connect. Seb is dead. It's going to be full ad for SLED Gang as they cap up the midpoint.
And that was like the textbook definition of something that just got completely rushed in execution. They know they wanted to make stuff happen with those 2 kills, but like halfway through the way into Lunchbox they realized, oh wait, they have Uber, and then people from Shutter already committed in died. They were suddenly 2 down as well, and on basically a push into a team with advantage. And it just went worse from there, and SLED Gang have all the momentum forward. Unref dies to a little sticky trap, but Uber is still all in possession here for the blue team, so it's all good for now.
So Throsimo doesn't really have much faith in holding second. They already have a gun on last, and they're already sticking up the last point. The Uber will be coming in soon from SLED Gang. They're on the right side of this last point as they're jumping in. The Heavy denying the jump. Sentry as well. The Scout W's forward and finds the frag onto Seb. The gun is down as well. Most of Throsimo is kind of trapped in the spawn door. They're now getting out, but they're kind of getting overwhelmed by the numbers from SLED Gang. People just not really finding frags. Some cleanup needs to be done, but nobody's around to do it. And they all go down. It's going to be the second round for SLED Gang.
Yeah, that just about worked. Didn't look like the cleanest push to begin with, but they just isolated them so much that nobody was really able to focus fire anything. Everybody just scattered all across the last point, like left half, and just nothing took good damage on SLED Gang at the end, and they just out-damaged them pretty simply there, despite having a little bit of a tough start, getting them bad early, but nothing much else.
Yeah, we'll see if Throsimo can see to find another mid-win to try and get the comeback going. Solid aggression has been going quite well before. Right now, they're just kind of taking the space on left side. Shader actually really aggressive behind. It's going to be distracting Sui a little bit. Wild Piggy finds a frag. Skyper and the rest of the combo actually from Throsimo is kind of just stuck in choke. So while Shader is setting up for his flank play, his team is already gone. Shader finds a frag onto Sui. He's not able to win against Unrav. There is this weird fight on the yard here, and a long-range rocket from Demon finds Seb. And that's going to be full ad for SLED Gang, the longest spawn timer coming in for Seb, as he won't be spawning for a long time. And SLED Gang is just in position to push.
Yeah, this just all depends now on the super push. They made it work once before, and now it's even easier given that there's no buffs up as well. Sentry being built heavy up is all they really can fall back on now.
We're being popped from the right side. The gun already is down. The sticks are off the point. Players from Throsimo are getting some positioning on top, but everyone's just going down. People just don't have the health to deal with it. But there goes the heals as well. It's just two players on the low ground. It's Shader and 31 against the world. They go down. It's going to be another cap. It's going to be 3-1 for SLED Gang.
Yeah, the point play by, I believe, Sui it was, just came in just in time, as on the left side there it was just about to devolve into just a silly, like, even DM fight, but just the tension that had be brought back to the point made it so easy for SLED Gang to just clean up from there, getting a third round now, looking to another mid fight.
Yeah, SLED Gang's looking to keep up their mid wins now. The more they win mids, the faster they can close out this map. Let's see how this is going to go. Mihu on the right side jumping over. Most of Throsimo just on the left side. They're not really paying attention to the right side, and Mihu is just taking all control of the right side. He just jumps behind, gets rockets onto Seb, but he eventually gets pressured away by Cole, and now Throsimo is just going to commit all over the point, and the frags are going their way. Wild Piggy finding two frags. He's going to go for a chase. Thinks better of it. They really want that med frag. They need to get some momentum up, but nobody really able to get in onto the combo from SLED Gang. They're just kind of sitting in front of the shutter door. Soldier jumps in. Shader gets destroyed by a combo of sticks and a scattergun shot, and it will be a mid for Throsimo, but there's not much else.
Yeah, and maybe this death on Shadir actually triggers some sort of aggression. They're already going choke really early on. Just seeing what they can get here. The mat is committed as well, which makes it all the more interesting. Not Victor Garage eventually gets pressured a little bit as well, as they're just throwing everything in they have. Sui all the way with the big flank, and they're just getting all the space they want. Eventually Sab forced to use as well, so it's going not too well for DSM here. They get the counter force, but needless to say, they have to go super
31! He gets a backstab onto the demo. This is such a weird situation, and now SLED Gang in the worst position you could be on mid. They lose two more players. Demon is going to be unable to leave. He goes down, so well, also it's just Sui, and off of that complete chaos spy play from 31, Throsimo's capping up second with their med up, and Soyewo is still dead.
That was just out of nowhere, and yeah, 31 already in last, just looking to pick up another thing. 3 on Sniper.
Oh no!
Might just be a nice little pickup there. Helps his team get in there easier. Although they don't have the Uber up and ready yet. Might just decide to wait anyway, so maybe a little bit more patience would have been nicer by 31. Just walking into the heavy and Unref just sees him coming despite him being invisible.
We got the Uber. They're coming left side. Skyper's sticking up the left spawn door. They don't know where we're just yet, so Seb doesn't really want to commit. Now they are in. They need to get frags quickly, though. And they're not really getting too much just yet. Shader with this Uber not getting too much damage down. They're not really focusing down the heavy either. Good damage, but nobody is shooting the same targets. It's just chaos on the side of ThroSamo. They get one frag, but Seb has left, and 31 is switched off of Spy to catch up with his medic.
Yeah, losing the Spy there like that might not have been the only reason they lost, but it just didn't help at all. They could have used that distraction for sure, but even then, like you mentioned, just such an apparent lack of focus fire. Nothing really took too much damage and wasn't like a lot of danger at all. A little bit of danger is there, but 31 behind still, despite not being on Spy anymore, so backup potential is there, seeing as he's still on second and not chasing the medic.
31 is backcapping. Let's see if anybody's going to try and block. There is Mihu underway. There's Demon as well. There is the rest of the combo. They're all really weak, though. One good rocket could ruin the dreams from SLED Gang. They're all committing on the second point, which is not really that great, as it opens up a possibility for a little of a sack. Somebody to try and get the force up. Wild Piggy's also behind. How does he get here? He's going to just be sitting here. Mihu is going to eventually give up holding second. He's in garage, so he might be slightly aware of Wild Piggy being behind. But this is kind of awkward. If the time is right, he can just walk onto it. Yeah, SLED Gang seems to have just kind of forgotten about it. Wild Piggy isn't going off the point. Just walk on the point. Please walk on the point. Okay, they're going to Uber. This is a bait to get him off the point, perhaps. They're going to trade. It's not a good trade. Shader goes down, but now SLED Gang's going to crit. There is Wild Piggy. He's moving in onto second. Mihu is going to be the first one to go back for it, but he can't go back in time. There's no spawners either. Wild Piggy's is going to run straight to last. Let's see if anybody can get there in time. Mihu tries to jump. Skyper's in position, throws some stickers at the Wild Piggy. Oh, but Wild Piggy walks off the point and goes down. Why does he do this? That's going to be a beef. But it's going to... Yeah, it brings SLED Gang at least back, and Soya Willow does go down to a demo. So it will be ad for ThroSamo, but it could have also been around. So
they still keep the advantage situation. I really like the fact that they did the push there to distract from the second point. Took them a little bit longer to realize, so it wasted some time. But it still worked. Meanwhile, Sui just trying to save the situation, feeds into the second point, unsuccessfully so, gives up his life in the what I'm saying, even in the not so great moment where the push is already up there, so only 5 on last, and the push is starting well. They get the medic, they get all the damage this time around. Only 2 Solis and a scout left, and getting some kills, but it's not quite enough. It's still being outnumbered on the point, and that's the second round.
Another not that clean last push from ThroSamo, but at least this time they managed to convert on it, which makes it, yeah, 3-2 in favor of SLED Gang. It's quite close. This mid is going to definitely decide if it's going to be close or not. Well, that's coming through. I'm going to see. I want to see these demos. It's just I feel like it's just the demos always happen to do something really weird on these mids. Steve and Skyper were actually almost at the same time arriving to mid. Sticky's not really hitting either player. Right now, just both teams waiting patiently, but Sui wants to walk over and go straight into Ice, who finds the frag. Soldiers are committing. 31 gets good damage onto the combo, but Demon gets a frag instead. Skyper with a good pipe onto 31. It's just Wild Piggy and Seb, and they've already left.
Yeah, something that has been really, really good for SLED Gang here is their scouts on the midpoint and their aggression. They are not that passive altogether, and sometimes it pays off. They get some random kills here and there, and this time it just completely opened up the enemy half of the midpoint, and they can storm forward, get those kills. Not Seb though, they still want it. Mishu desperately trying, not getting it. Sui as well. A bit late there on the attempt to help out his soldier, so 2 will fall in the end. Not necessarily the worst thing ever here. You can afford to lose 2 if you have some plan, but looks like they just kind of want to give up the point for now.
Yeah, they're trying to get a trade going here and then wait for their spawners to come in so they can just get a 6v6 fight going, but they're just losing second. They've traded, but they haven't really done anything. They've just given up second. They're now sitting in yard. This is perhaps maybe the safer spot to stalemate, with 31 already is in position in drop down. I want to see this play. Let's see where everyone is. Nobody's really in position to look at this, so if he times this right, he can definitely get onto the medic, but instead he's going to go onto the flank. This is a bit interesting. Soyewo just looks at him, doesn't even call it, gets hit now by 1 rocket, it gets hit for 60. That's not enough, and a promising flank does not really work out.
Yeah, that sort of thing just too often just doesn't have too much communication between the combo and the flank there to just like figure out where the medic is. And usually you would assume he's on the right side, shot door a little bit more than on the left side, but not the case. So unsuccessfully though, Skyper on the quickie bombs. I assume just wanting to get rid of anything that is on the shutter door as quickly as he can, and not have Eisnup have any fun here.
That was just really funny. The visual of just Soyabolo like looking at the flank and being like, "Hey guys, there's a soldier about to jump me. Can you guys look behind?" But right now, soldiers from Throw-Samo are trying to break the stalemate. Shader goes down 31 as well. No soldiers for Throw-Samo. Perhaps trying to take a book or a page out of SLED Gang's book, rather. They're on second. They're getting spammed down by stickies from Ice-Noob a lot, though. They're going to take a lot of damage, but eventually they do get second. I want to try to get into last as well, but the spawners are almost up for Throw-Samo, so this might be a bit risky. And after Mihu spots everything, they decide to just stay inside.
Played so slow. We've seen it quite a few times here already, so let's see if they have anything to actually do in this stalemate. So far, just Sui walking in, wanting to die, which to me just means he actually kind of just wants to play sniper instead. Not too surprising if that's the case here, but for the moment it just leaves them without a scout, so they need to be careful. They do back off into lunchbox with just everything they have and just punch up there instead. And there we go, the Sui sniper on the field to help in this stalemate in any way he can.
It's been fascinating to see the team that's actually in the lead go for the aggressive play here. Perhaps Sui has a lot of confidence in his sniper play. Perhaps Throw-Samo will just lose their sniper or their soldiers, so Sui can just peek really far into left side here. They're making a lot of space for him, but Demon just dies to spam, and Sui now has to once again just sit from inside. Use one of these long sniper silos to get any frags. He finds a frag onto 31, trying to sack in, but he needs to get a sideline onto Seb, and that's going to be quite difficult as Seb is holding behind the fence on right side here. The scouts are holding the right side quite tightly, so for now it's going to be a bit interesting. People are running banners right now. I see Shader running the old buff banner, finding a frag onto Sui. So he's going to go with the old strat of just sit here for 3 minutes, then get mini crits, and then kill everybody. We'll see how it works out, but Wild Piggy dies before any of that. And, well, for now, it's just going to be trading players over and over, but there it is. SLED Gang is in. Soldier jumps onto the point. The rest wants to go and trade. The Uber is a bit better for SLED Gang, but the positioning isn't really quite there, but they're just on the point. Players are not really taking the space. Shader on the low ground. Now, both soldiers on the high ground for Throw-Samo, just raining down rockets onto the SLED Gang. They're kind of caught. Skyper goes down. Unrev goes down. There goes Sui. Eventually, there he goes, and now it's just Soyawolo and Demon. But because they took so long to kill Sui, Soyawolo just got to escape for free. And Throw-Samo have a little bit of ad, but at least they got out of last.
Yeah, TSM just played this just a bit smarter positioning-wise and used the high ground really well now to get the Solis in position to have really easy damage. Unfortunately, Shady still died, so no buff banner up and ready yet. And we'll have to wait for that, so let's see how that goes. They do have the advantage, already looking to get mid for free though, before they even have, which is still a risk for Seb, as the spam is coming in. Wiethoofd, oh, the first one to fall.
Seb is so weak by ramp room, and this fight is really messy, but the heal, or the health, is looking better on the side of Throw-Samo. Shader is just sitting behind this crate, waiting for an arrow for like 10 seconds. He peeks right, immediately just kills the entire combo! Oh my god, that was the perfect timing, as it's now just Skyper and Mihu. Sui just spawned. Mihu's jumping onto Seb, gets one rocket, gets two, but no frag. And Throw-Samo somehow cap mid and just have wiped SLED Gang.
But there's a scout behind the Seb. Forced once again here. Having to use for just a single scout. Not too great. Will put them at roughly even, so no advantage for last. Unfortunately, this actually saves them from this much trouble on the blue end here. Having to deal with this U advantage push. Now not so much, and with 2 minutes left, that might just be a really crucial play here coming out of Sui.
Oh, the spam from the soldiers onto the combo from SLED Gang is quite good. Skyper's like 20 HP, but he eventually does get out. Throw-Samo, they have 10% disadvantage, and they need to be trading into last, which is going to be a bit awkward. But we have about like 20 seconds before complete madness will ensue.
Looks like we overlooked a slight little detail there, which explains why Seb got Uber. I was a little bit weirded out by that, but the answer is simple. Shout out to Chad, he picked up the medic gun of the dying medic here, so just saved himself a lot of trouble having to build. And in the end, it kind of sure he had fought, but he didn't die, so in the end it still saved him a lot of trouble.
He has 90% and he's 40 HP. They're already in top. They want to go so quick. They trade frag. The Uber is now up. They're walking through top. People are quite weak though, and the demo does go down to get the force, but they need to leave already. If Seb doesn't survive, it's going to be quite difficult. He gets a saw onto Unwrap, but eventually goes down. It's just 31 on last, trying to find any kills. He does go down with about 60 seconds left. Spawners are coming in for Throw Some Mo, but SLED Gang is going to go and cap up second.
Yeah, this isn't how they win now, and it's the biggest throw I've seen in a long time. With this little time left and Uber, it's going to be tough for them to make too many mistakes here to lose this map, but Throw Some Mo haven't given up yet. They pulled out the crits. They barely will have a little bit advantage before the normal Uber comes out of SLED Gang here, but they just need it. They are dependent on that.
Yeah, they're finding frags on the flank, which is giving them a lot of space to potentially run with this crits. They're trying to get pipes onto the combo here, but they're kind of aggressing really early before the crits is even up. They lost all their players, and it's 15 seconds left, and it does not seem like it's meant to be. The Uber has been popped. The victory pop from Soyawolo on second. 5 seconds left. It's going to be it. It's going to be 3-2 for SLED Gang for the first match.
Really, really close game in the end. Just that bit better, fortunately for TSM, by SLED Gang, edging it out just barely, and kind of a shame at the end as well with the last push just being rushed a little bit too much. They had arguably not much time, but 2 minutes, it's enough to at least formulate a better push than that. Unfortunately, not the case, so 3-2 in the end. First map goes to SLED Gang.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the big issue TCM had was just, or TSM, was that they're just having issues with like pushing. Like things were very uncoordinated. They won what was it? They won 3 mids, and there was that one last push on like full ad where they pushed in and like everyone did damage, but no one got a kill. So the Uber fades, and then people just lose their individual fights, and that's it. So it's unfortunate, but perhaps they'll fare better on the second map, Process.
Yeah, everybody's favorite, but for that, let's look a little bit at numbers. Numbers are fun.
I see numbers. A big number. One big number. It's Skyper with 29 kills. 11
demo in Div2 thinking emoji.
I mean, these are the stats you expect when you put a Prem demo in Div2. It's quite, I mean, that is big. I mean, you just look at all the numbers. Like you see all these numbers. Like outside of like Unwrap doing quite decent. Like all the numbers are relatively like okay. These people did okay, and then it's like 29 and 7. It's like okay, well that's the important factor here. Then I guess.
Also, big 30% heal, so they know where the priorities are at. That's for sure.
Well, that's rough. Quickly look at the other stats, I guess. My stats are
cap things. So cap stats. There we go. And HiipFire has some problems with that. I can see it already. The point capped by zone, and I mean, just basically shows you what we've seen already. That more last pushes about 3 times as much. I don't know the exact numbers here. Actually, might be on screen as well. But percentage was 60 to 22% is quite a bit of a difference looking at like last pushes.
22%, man. That's 2 out of 9. 2 out of 9.
One of those was like this complete roll from a mid fight, I believe, with like ad and no time to set anything up.
That's rough. That's really painful that you have such an issue like converting into last. I mean, it's not that like Granary last is the easiest last push or last point to get into, but I mean, they definitely had some really big advantages going into last like 3 times. So 22% is definitely a lot lower than it should be, and obviously SLED Gang did way better with 60%. So
yeah, and we're going into a map with yet another big old last point. So let's see if the differences that Process last point has over Granary help them, or if it just like kind of the same thing basically for them, because that could be a huge issue if just the general size of the last point here is an issue for them.
Yeah, we'll see. It seems like people are ready. Oh no, I've been baited. Never mind. Somebody isn't ready yet. It's gonna be a bit interesting. I wonder how much the Skyper factor will shine through on this map as it had. Maybe it will shine through as much as it did last map, but we'll see. I mean, like Granary is definitely an unusual map to pick, so I don't know exactly how much process they're unfamiliar with. If this is maybe like a team that's into the weird maps, we'll see. But people have readied up. I'm gonna go into the second map here. The first map was 3-2 in favor of SLED Gang. This is SLED Gang's map pick process. They're already up a map, so they need to win this map to win the series. Throw needs to win 2 maps in a row to win it. We'll see what's going on this first mid. Soldiers are in some good aggression, but 31 ends up coming out victorious over that little fight. Doesn't find a frag. Gets launched up by some sticks from Skyper, but Mihu is the one to commit in. He goes down, self-destructs. Demon jumps in. No real impact from him either. And now SLED Gang has just left. They only have a demo for explosive classes, and this mid is, well, effectively over for them.
Yeah, just really sad solly bombs out of SLED Gang not doing anything and being nicely dodged as well. By TSM, giving them this mid win and 3 kills to boot, but not too much they can do with those. Unfortunately, losing one as well would force them to an awkward exchange here on the second point. So they opt to wait, get numbers up, and more importantly, the 31 spy who helped them before, to say the least.
Ooh, the Portuguese spy is in position. He's already cloaking. He's already like. I love this. Like they win the mid. 31's the only one to die, so he immediately goes spy. He's in kind of a weird spot, and he's gonna go for a wow. That's
Tried.
less than effective, but this is gonna give SLED Gang an opportunity to get a sack in. One that is also really not that successful. Mihu even failing to get through PC. It's completely locked down. Shader in 1v1 in sewers. Chaos. Soldiers are down. 31 still on spy. Swee finds a frag. Trying to get onto Seb. Seb gets forced. Seb. Oh no, this is so awkward. Kill Swee's 12 HP. He lives for so long. It's 3 players up for SLED Gang, so this should be forcible. 31 should just like jump, but he's not gonna jump. He fares that unwrapped scout. There's the soldier coming in. He's onto the meta, gets the force. This is a really poor Uber for SLED Gang, and they're not really going to be able to do much with this as they now jump through. That sticky does so much damage to Mihu, and I don't know how this happened.
They must have just felt way too confident after getting this free advantage that they just didn't bother to deny anything at all. Easy jump in there for the soldier, gets the force out immediately, and nothing much they can do with it since nothing much is there to kill anymore on the second point. So in the end, all it really did there in the sewer area is just give Seb eventually the advantage in the long con here.
That's the play. This makes sense. This is the Throsumo game
Div 2 strats.
play style. But yeah, they got the ad now. The flank from Throsumo is getting some space. Seb actually is going to link up with his flank, but they're not really able to get through. Perhaps not really liking the amount of damage they get. They're going to go through choke. Send some players through, both soldiers in, but they're not really able to get any initial frags. Players are getting quite weak, but Throsmos is not comfortable to push into second here. They're going to stay in this stalemate. That 30% Uber advantage is gone.
Yeah, that was really weird. They had all this advantage and just decided to just rotate back into choke, let this advantage slip instead, and just wait again, not even having much of a plan B this time around. No off class here, so something else needs to happen. And once again, they want to rely on the sewer area. Much of a distraction more than anything here. 31 just jumps in, gets a kill. Won't get out himself though, so a little bit of a plan was there, but not flawlessly executed. Unfortunately, it's an exchange in the end so often. But we've seen 41 off class, so maybe that will happen again.
Osmo's so aggressive. They're going in onto second. Shader getting massive damage onto the combo, forcing Soyawolo's Uber off. Soyawolo actually flashing a lot more than Seb does, so the Uber will be even. And Sui is caught in choke. Shader not hitting the rockets he needs though, and is going to go down and get overwhelmed by the rest of SLED Gang. And just 31 and Seb. And Seb is gone, and 31 isn't onto Soyawolo, gets one rocket and falls.
it rolled over them. But the silver lining here is that Seb survived all of this. They will have an Uber up for last. That one needs to be good though, and they can't do anything else about the situation anymore. Second already lost, so the sentry will be built. Maybe some more pluses for 31, we'll see in the meantime. Though the stalemate will ensue a little bit, possibly, but doesn't actually look like SLED Gang just want to have this last push immediately and not wait at all.
And they're trying to come through, but they lose a player very early, and everyone's just extremely weak on the combo. They're leaving, and they're just going to be holding this. That was that push was over before it started, and ThroSumo trying to do their own push into second. They don't have their Uber quite yet, but nobody from SLED Gang is really going to contest second. Unrav is going to go on to Sniper. They have decided that they're going to do a little bit of a stalemate on mid and second here. Unrav is just sitting in forward spawn, a trade actually happening, just
big
walking forward.
On the Skyper, but they eventually don't even matter. He just gets caught mid-Uber, prevents fall damage, and just goes back into the other second point, and Demon just chases down Ice Noob instead. Will die for it, but will get the Demo Man as well. And might just help to get some damage on the board here, and that is exactly what happens. They baked him so far forward in the choke area, kill Cola as well, with a nice little rocket around the corner, and just forced him back so far now.
Yeah, now ThroSumo has 2 soldiers, a medic against 5 blue SLED Gang players. They're already through lobby. The spawners are quite in, but not really in position to properly block things. But Skyper is getting focused down really hard, and the rest of SLED Gang is just falling. Mihu goes down. Unrev almost goes down to some great direction from 31. They're forced to back up. There is somebody hiding. It's going to be Demon in 1. Cola is not going to be peeking this. They don't have a player on last. Demon fails this jump. Oh no! That's not going to be enough. I think he probably wouldn't have made it even if he did hit his jump, but that was an unfortunate, a good attempt, but it's not working out. And with 20% advantage, ThroSumo gets to push into mid, but there's a sniper from Sui. He is sitting in the forward spawn. They don't know this. Seb is now in position. Ooh, he almost gets body shot by Sui, but just barely beefing that shot. They now know that Sui is in forward spawn. They find the frag onto Mihu. And this is going to allow them to actually push into second as well.
Possibly, but it's not a lot. They only have this one kill there, and a bit of space. Let's see if that's enough. While Piggy leading the charge here already, as the Uber comes out from the other side of the second point. Don't get too much damage early on, so they will have a much better Uber. Seb just has to hightail it out of there, seeing if he can stay alive. But the chase is on by Unrev, gets so much damage. Will it be enough? Seb dodging for his life, gets the small medkit as well, and nobody else dares to go through the choke point, as 31 just looks at everybody standing in front of it. Wants some damage, not enough to kill the medic himself though.
Seb lives. Therefore, ThroSumo's chances to hold mid do stay alive as well. As SLED Gang, they're trying to be a bit aggressive off of this roamer pick. They're trying to see if they can find any openings to get through. With Mihu's not really finding any success by PC, and Demon not really finding anything in choke either. So right now it's just 50. The demo's dead, so it seems like SLED Gang's gonna be pushing forward now. Shader jumping very aggressively to try and get the force on, but he is unsuccessful as he's forced to back off. He will crater. Actually just gets cleaned up by Unrav. Mihu jumping in so aggressively, but does not find a frag. Solly down for SLED Gang, but ThroSumo just has to give up so much. Wild Picky manages to somehow slide out. Uber get forced by 31, and ThroSumo is on last with 80%. Might be able to recontest second here. Ice Noob wants to from 1. The Uber gets popped, jumps very aggressively into choke. He gets air shot. Great air shot there to deny the Demos' jump. And ThroSumo, I guess they're on second and SLED Gang's on mid, but there's a scout on second. This is just chaos. Sweet onto Seb. He's so weak. The Seb goes down, and now it's 5v4. ThroSumo has more players. Demo goes quite weak. Skyper gets jumped by 31, but eventually players getting cleaned up. It seems to slowly stabilize as Unwrap just destroys ThroSumo. And now SLED Gang, with their Uber advantage, are going to be moving into second.
It's a shame that these air shots are as good as they are, because in the bigger scheme of things, they sadly just don't matter. Sure, Ice Noob was slightly denied, but they still forced him out of the second point. And if it wasn't for Sui's insane flank to start this off with, it just wouldn't have gotten him anywhere, unfortunately.
Oh, so SLED Gang's on last. They have popped their Uber. Nobody's really on last. Skyper gets a pipe onto Cola, finds that frag. That's good, but players are not in the perfect position. It's Ice Noob versus Wild Piggy against SLED Gang. lose the fight eventually, getting outlasted by the blue players and their Uber advantage. But that was just chaos.
Yeah, the scouts saved SLED Gang so much there because just they abused the flank so nicely. Unwerth on the end there, 3 to start things off with, and just cleaned up everything in this huge mess, and DM prevails for once here.
Whew, well, we're gonna go into this mid, perhaps maybe less chaotic. 31 jumps in really aggressive, is dead. Ice Noob's dead. This mid is already over. Goodbye. SLED Gang wins.
Oh, that didn't take too long. Let's see if they can do something with this now, because once again, the moment stuff just goes wrong too early, TSM just leaves immediately, tries to just play for the rest of the people to survive here as much as they can. Demon goes in deep. Weak as well will get saved, though Shadi actually the one falling in the end there. And they're making a good effort to take this as far as they can without having that much. Only like 2 players died on the mid fight, and storming forward like this after a fight like that is not too easy. So that was all well done by SLED Gang, getting second for little effort and already into last with barely to no advantage anymore.
This Uber isn't really that great. They haven't really gotten many frags within. The counter Uber finds a med, finds a scout. Everyone really. It's going to be a full wipe, and that is going to be DuMmTm converting, well not converting, just being able to hold quite successfully. And they're going to have the ad going into mid as well.
Yeah, this is another case. I think you had one round of that in Granary as well, where just like one team seems to forget the US situation, it seems, and just wants everything and gets absolutely nothing in the fight they end up taking. Once again here, SLED Gang in choke, wanting to contest this as much as they can. In the end, just P2 really jumping alone and not really getting Oliver. Didn't even look like he tried in the end to survive, just kind of lands on a rock, accepts his defeat. And Uber ad up for Sap as well, not quite ready yet, but it's getting dangerous too close, so SLED Gang can't really play with the fire here anymore.
DuMmTm was already get in. They're gonna go from far sewers here as they're moving in. Nobody from SLED Gang really is gonna attempt to get onto Seb. Seb's trying to take some spam damage, but no force coming through. Scouts are on the point. DuMmTm wants to take this Uber advantage into last, but it's 10% at this point. They're moving into lobby. They're popping their Uber into left. They're onto Soyawolo. The Uber gets popped. The sentry is down. There's actually decent positioning for the DuMmTm players, but eventually they're getting kind of pressured out. The flank player is not able to stay in on last. Cola finds a frag, gets responded by very quickly. Unref finding a demo frag as well. It's Wild Piggy 31 and Seb. They're forced to back off. Spawners even coming in for SLED Gang. And it's going to be a 5v3 as the combo leaves second.
Yeah, just, you said good positioning, but really they didn't have much of that, in my opinion at least. Just really not getting too far with this Uber, leaving quickly as well. Trying to repush a little bit, but at that point they abandoned space too much already as the jumps into midpoint come in, trying to make stuff happen. 31 just escaping from the flank. Demon, the first one in, also the first one to fall here. They have slight advantage, but not really much to use, so they wanted to rely on this push here, but by losing the soldiers early, they just can't make it happen anymore.
It is still 20% ad for SLED Gang, but DuMmTm wants to aggress through choke with their soldiers, making some good space in choke. SLED Gang seems to want to move as if they're trading. Little do they know, Seb does not have Uber, which is why DuMmTm is a bit hedgy here, and they lose all their players for it. It's just 2 scouts and a medic. SLED Gang is going to get mid for completely free. Mew actually very aggressively in choke on the scouts. Gonna chase so far in. Should be cleaned up soon. It's gonna get an arrow from his medic. And DuMmTm on second. They're gonna try to contest this. Mihu needs to jump out. Gets a bit stuck. Eventually goes down. It's a bit awkward, but this will be a stalemate perhaps with DuMmTm sending a soldier sack in. Though a lot of damage being found here in choke. But eventually 31 might just die from spam. Okay, he gets away.
Yeah, they certainly wanted to make something happen with this, but not the way you said they should, which is the sack. They wanted to just like spam another one out, get a second kill, and have a much easier time into the ensuing team fight. Not quite working out, taking about as much damage as they deal, so can't really afford staying there. 31 hiding in the corner, 3 picks up on that immediately and gets the Roma frag. Allows them to just now do something off of the one player ad. Let's see what it is. So far it looks like Wiethoofd jumping in, see if he can find the medic, but he will just find 2 scouts and a lot of damage. Sap popping. His Uber so delayed there. Nothing, like sure there was spam from choke, but nothing really was visible for him close to him, so that was just a really strange reaction.
Perhaps a bit of nerves coming through as Throw needs to give up the second push. Shader's gonna jump for Soyawolo. Soyawolo just popped to like a 40 damage rocket. Perhaps both of these medics are very scared of soldier rockets here as SLED can cap second, but that's gonna be it.
Yeah, just medics using weirdly there makes it a little bit more possible for TSM, but the push comes in regardless. Once again, Demon just diving into the point, will dive with lots of damage into the lobby doors as well. The fight continues, but it's not going well for SLED Gang as all. They're all getting denied really early on. They do get the counter frags though, just people chasing a little bit too much there, making it a bit more possible to try to see something happen out of SLED Gang, and they try with damage, and they surprise Jadir and Sap as well, while Cola on the point is just way too far back to help him out. All that far forward on... No, the fight is on. While Piggy gets the medic, gets the scout already. The saw comes out, he's not hitting anything.
Oh, the soldiers are in the spawners! And they hold. Unrev is in position to try and fight 31 here, and there is a resub coming through. But in the end, throws Samo, hold, and it's somehow still 1-0. Mihu on Spy. Man, I got like 5 heart attacks during that last push. I don't know if I feel too good.
Iceloop is currently justifying himself as the merc of choice, I believe. Just saving this round completely and keeping it a close scoreline. But it coming to this is a little bit unfortunate. They just went too far forward on an even number situation. Trying to chase people out of last is just kind of sketchy. Like, in worst case scenario, would have not even been would that happen, but like they just like bait them to push forward and roll, and they just all go lobby instead. So even lucky that it went this way in the first place, in my opinion.
Oh, he failed the bat.
Oh, it doesn't matter. This spam just comes in anyway and gets this. Does that count as a sentry drop? I don't know what the terminology is there.
I mean, yeah, sure. Let's do that. But so it's even. It's 13 minutes left. Throw Samo's down around, so they need to show some initiative. But what they're doing is just showing that they don't want to move from this last point, and Unrav is going to be the one that's going to be trying to find some frags here.
Let's see, both sides, yeah, relying on these off-classes, Sniper on Unrav, 31 on Spy once again, with Piggy on Lars, obviously, as Engineer still rebuilding what he's just lost. So, off-classes, it will be actually no Spy anymore. Maybe just check, saw what's going on, and decides to go Sniper in a counter-action instead. It's a nice idea, but at the same time, it just takes forever to get something done, and even then, it's kind of a gamble, so see if it will pay out in the end.
Well, neither of these snipers is really taking many risks. 31 is literally inside of the spawn room currently, and Unrav is currently outside on second, taking, like, just waiting for somebody to overextend rather than actually him going aggressive. He's peeking one as the stickies have just been cleared, but there's not really much he can get. He could perhaps get a wild Piggy pick, who seems to be taunting or something, as I keep hearing the yells coming through. They're making space for Unrav with a sticky trap above one. This could bait somebody to push him. We'll see what happens. He gets a pick so far. Eventually a scout walks in, and Skyper eventually, kind of a delayed death there. His sniper will go down, but they do find a scout pick. That's kind of an unuseful, or a useless trade for both teams.
It seems the Battalion's backup has a little bit more use. I'm a big fan of banners, but not necessarily what I see sometimes. And so far, it's just Jadir leading a charge for an immediate exchange, which makes it all the more strange that Sap popped so early as well. I think he wanted to save the soldier there, but that seems like a really strange idea given that he kind of just sacked alone, and in the end it's just a really useless exchange for either side.
Another useless exchange. You first lose a scout for a sniper, and then you lose your Uber for the enemy team's Uber. So
I'm kind of sad every time I see somebody sack with a banner. I mean, I suppose this was supposed to be more than that, with like a push coming in afterwards, but that makes it kind of even worse, considering they wanted to save somebody with 30% damage resistance that went in way ahead of them anyway. So either way you spin it, it wasn't all too smart in my opinion.
It definitely wasn't exactly the greatest play ever, but God, Unrev on Sniper, and once again Throw not really wanting to run an aggressive off-class just yet. It's going to be waiting once again. It's now, instead of, I think it was like 13 minutes last time we checked. It's now 10.5 minutes. Clock is ticking. 31 is going on Spy to check the off classes. Once again, baiting me into thinking that things are going to happen on the side of Throw-Some-Mo. A frag will be had as Swede does go down. But nobody in position to sack. People just kind of setting up their defenses. 31 now jumps in.
Immediately piped down was whatever happened there. And just falls to stuff. Oh, he got a headshot. Never mind, that's even worse.
It's unfortunate. You really want to try to push, but I mean, I'm giving Throw-Some-Mo a little bit of crap for like stalemating this, but it is, if they do wait for 4.5 minutes, they will get another mid, and perhaps they have some confidence to maybe be able to convert on the mid win. They haven't really be doing too great on those mids though, so I feel like either way, this isn't really the greatest play ever, but I mean, I'm not going to hate a team that wants to just go in timeout into another mid. But Unrav, in lobby, he's looking around, see if he can find any picks. He misses a shot on a soldier. He hits the shot onto 31, but it's just a headshot. 31 was fully buffed up. He gets a peek into right side. He could get onto the medic, but he's just not. He does not have the courage to peek all the way through. And for now, it's just going to be a real passive sniper play from both snipers. With Cola, I haven't seen him on Sniper just yet, so we're going to see if he can hit any shots. Wild Pig is going to open the shutter for him. There's no one there. Everyone's in lobby already. Sweet goes down to a body shot. And again, kind of a useless trade here.
I need some like energy main theory here, what the purpose is of that dispenser spot compared to anything else. But in the meantime, just an Uber exchange for the purpose of being an Uber exchange, I believe. It's just both pockets trying to just find damage to good players. But in the end, Demon just stays in way too long in lobby, gets piped down instead. That leaves them with an Uberless situation and a pick advantage with the medic just on the silver plate for the soldiers to jump. So much damage comes through. Eventually Cola cleans up. That is a great opportunity to step a little bit. For head doesn't matter in the end. The save comes in by 31. And playing patience worked out since the patience clearly ran out of SLED gang there.
Demon was quite ambitious with that Uber. He was staying in and just thinking, I'm going to win this 1v1 against Shader, but he loses it.
Except it wasn't a 1v1 at all.
Yeah. Well, he lost the post-Uber fights. Unref finds Cola by choke, which means that Throw-Some-Mo is going to have to go through PC, which is going to be a bit awkward as it's hard to get through PC without popping the Uber. They're going to have to find frags very early, and SLED gang is already... Well, they're ready to leave as the Uber gets popped by Throw-Some-Mo. They get the Uber. Very fast jumps. A pipe from Ice Noob onto the medic. Soyawol is quite weak. They find Demon. 2 picks for Throw-Some-Mo. Some good shots coming out from Shader there to get that frag. It is 2 players down and no Uber just yet for SLED gang. So Throw-Some-Mo has the opportunity to potentially push through. His 31 is peeking here. Knows the positioning of the SLED gang players is quite passive. Not really looking into choke. The Uber's almost up. Shader wants to perhaps jump, but they're kind of just looking. They're just waiting to see if SLED gang will just gift them this Uber force, which they will not. They will walk through PC. They're going to go through choke. They're not going to actually do this. They're going to go through choke. Demon's going to go and clear stickies. Throw-Some-Mo's already on top. 31 is behind the rock, ready in position to try and get this force, but they've taken way too long. It's even Ubers. So it's going to be a stalemate.
That was strange to just see happen, and by see happen I mean not see happen, because nothing happened in the end, and just a lot of waiting in front of choke, seeing how do we want to approach this, and then they just didn't do it at all, leaving it to an even worse situation. Sure, they are in a lead, but it's not a strong one, seeing what just happened on last, and the push just comes in by the team on the deficit here, trying to make something happen. Instead, just go for an exchange, and granted what we've seen before on these Uber exchanges, this is one of the better ones, and they get Bijou as well on the flank. That's a pick, that's a start.
Yeah, the flank from SLED gang wants to go really aggressive, but 31 completely denied it, but the soldiers are going down in PC for Throw-Some-Mo. There is some decent fighting going on the outside of the second point. People getting some good damage, but just losing both your soldiers is such a big deficit that people have to back off. Soldiers will be jumping, or will be spawning soon for Throw-Some-Mo, but most of SLED gang is already in. 6 players on mid for SLED gang, 4 for Throw-Some-Mo. Cola goes down, Ice Noob goes down in choke. The spam is just too much. It's going to be 31 on Spy. That's going to be the gamble of this round. Let's see what he's going to do. But it seems like SLED Gang is going to try to peek in. They put Soyawolo very far in, but 31's behind. He's in. Nobody's really looking for this. Come on, walking for it. There it is. The drop comes in. The Uber has been popped by Seb. People jumping in very aggressive. It's a bit of perhaps an unnecessary pop, but it doesn't really matter as the med is dead. Cola goes down, though. They need to clean up these players that are behind right now as they can get onto the med and just cause complete chaos. But people are just walking forward. People not playing with Seb. Seb's alone on second. He's forced to surf away from one here. He's in a very awkward spot, but manages to surf out of into lobby, but eventually gets chased down. It's 31 and Ice Noob to try and hold second, perhaps. Ice Noob gets skill sticked by Demon, and 31 goes back to last. And Throw Samoa have somehow thrown their way into last.
That was so sad to watch. Seb did everything right. Great surf. Picked up the Medigun once again. Saved himself like 50% Uber percentage building as well. So that justifies using a lot more, in my opinion. But in the end, it felt like he was the only one doing the right thing there. Everybody just so scattered, so all over the place, trying to chase kills while not realizing that the medic is in such big danger. And in the end, it's just not enough anymore. SLED Gang gets the second point, will get slight advantage as well. Maybe not the best one, we've seen them way bigger ones.
Sweet goes down. And SLED Gang does not seem to really be interested in pushing. They're not even really building. They're just waiting for the 31 spy play that is not currently happening. They just want to run down the clock as Throw Samoa haven't really been able to be too successful in breaking these stalemates. They had that trade that went quite well, but haven't really been able to do much outside of that. And they have to wait for their Uber to come up first. SLED Gang actually does put up a sniper, which is a nice little way of forcing Throw Samoa to kind of either commit to a play or not. You kind of have to play really passive or really aggressive when the enemy team runs a sniper. And so he's going to try to find the fix. He's in rollout. Nobody's really looking at this. He gets, almost gets a sidelight onto Seb, but unscopes as Seb comes into his field of view. And for now, it's just a stalemate, but Sweet gets Wild Piggy. The Pyro is dead, which is a bit awkward. It makes the hold from Throw Samoa a bit weaker, but as long as Throw Samoa don't completely feed, this should be holdable. But 31, he's so weak, he goes down. And now Sweet gets to get a peek out to Seb, and there's the headshot. The drop comes through. It's going to be 5v3 and a full Uber for SLED Gang as Shader goes down to Unwrap. They need to spam down this gun first. Gun goes down. Unwrap walks onto the demo. Does go down, and spawners are coming through for Throw Samoa with full health. They're coming on through. Cleanup coming in from Wild Piggy, but he's not able to do enough. It's going to be a second round for SLED Gang.
They had like so much going their way coming into this, and it still went down to 2v1, which is kind of strange to see. But they just kept the pressure up really nicely to allow this side lane to happen in the first place, and in the end, deserved the point there. And now it's do or die time for TSM. 2 minutes 40 is possible, but it's gonna be really difficult.
Yeah, they need to go really fast in these mids. And the soldiers are being quite aggressive. They're getting some decent damage, but Ice Noob's quite weak. He's getting pressured as well. He goes down. Demon goes down afterwards. The Skyper's dead as well. Good aggression from Wild Piggy there. Gonna try and get onto Miyu as well. Finds that as well. It's looking okay. 31 with the chase onto Soyawolo. Gets one good rocket. Jumps. Needs to get this second rocket to connect on Soyawolo. But Soyawolo's on 3 HP. He lives. And the mid seems to go to Throw Samoa, but they don't really have the players. They're trying to cap Squeeze as being a real nuisance to Shader. I feel so bad. Eventually, Shader finds the frag. It will be a mid for Throw Samoa, but with 2 minutes left and even Ubers, it's going to be quite difficult to push in to, or to get 2 rounds rather.
And that's really unfortunate. The one thing that went well also cost them the mid fight in the end, which is like tunnel visioning the enemy as much as they could, or the closest player they could every time, but it also cost them to just not see everybody else shooting them. Eventually they just go for the exchange. They don't have much of a choice. They need to just get forward, make something happen. So the exchange it will be trying to get Demon, but Demon still gets the first kill onto the Solid Duo. Might just get the second one here. 5 seconds on Shady, can't escape. And while the combo gets in, suddenly just 2 people left alone here. Cola gets consolation frag, but Sweet just chases down his mid instead, all alone on the midpoint, while all of SLED Gang just take the entry into mid.
Yeah, Cola goes down. At this point, there is no Uber, so unless Throw Samoa like immediately kills everybody, this is pretty much over. And Wild Piggy has gone on to Pyro. It seems that people have thrown the towel, and it's over. They have decided that it's not worth trying to win a fight that's not worth winning. So it's going to be a win for SLED Gang. So congratulations to SLED Gang for winning the Div 2 Grand Finals. I guess this means they qualify for Div 1. I guess there's not. I don't know if there's really a formal process to getting into Div 1, but they've done it. They sure did. Commiserations to Throw for getting second place.
Yeah, really entertaining series in the end, really close game, and small differences decided who will win as the last few frags are being exchanged. Obviously, not too much sensible stuff happening anymore, just people wanting to like path logs a little bit, but with an Uber advantage up on that gang, it's a little bit easier for them to get these kills, so Unrev and Sweet just clean up a bit more for these last few seconds. Might even get a third round, let's see if that still is in them.
They could try. They have all the players.
To some degree are trying.
I mean, Throw is good air shot from Shader, I guess, but I don't think it's going to happen. It's going to be 2-0. That's going to be that. It's going to be 3-2 on the first map and 2-0 on the second. It's going to be SLED Gang closing out the series the way they closed out the initial match against Throw in the regular season, winning both maps. A bit less one-sided as it was in the regular season. Throw definitely putting up a good fight on both Granary and on this map. Even though they never got around, it was quite close. We can look at the logs to see if it reflects that as well, but, well, yeah, that's that. SLED Gang has done it.
Let's see what we have here. Wait a second, is this the right logs? Maybe I have to reload my logs. Oh, there we go, never mind.
Look at Skyper, doing pretty decent. Not really getting a lot of kills, but he's getting a lot of damage.
And he doesn't die a lot, that's probably a thing more worth mentioning. That's my favorite stat on the demo one, the death stat.
It's always
it being really low. And that's the case here. I mean, granted, almost, again, 30% heals, but that's what you want to see in that case. If you put that much effort into keeping him alive, he better deliver as well, and that's exactly what happened.
Big frags from the scouts. It's perhaps I feel like the logs, like DM wise, it was a bit closer on the first map. This one is definitely looking like the scouts quite showed up in the demo.
Yeah, definitely. The scouts just such a big differentiator. Here we have the team stats skills a little bit more apart from each other. It seemed like every time it was close, it was just stalemate here, and just a bit of damage was to change few kills. And every time Chaos would see, SLED Gang just had the slight edge there for a lot of it.
Honestly, the stat I want to see is I just want to see the conversion rate again, because that's definitely what we saw. Well, obviously it's 0%. It's not actually. It's not that high. Like it's 0. It says 0%. Obviously,
but it's
because
just one.
But I mean, yeah, it's one, and I can't quite remember how much.
But like in a way that doesn't make it much better to begin with. Like sure, they only failed one, which while 0 isn't like that many still, but they only got to do it once, which is like the worst part here.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to like. The thing is that this map was a bit more. I feel like it was a bit more slower. There were a lot of like stalemates on mid and on second, so there weren't as many opportunities to even push last. So it's not really that bad that it says 1, but the biggest issue really that Throw had was like properly converting on having 2 more players in the enemy team. Or something like that. It was very awkward. Like this was a very awkward map. Like chaos was everywhere. People had advantage. They had more players in the enemy team, and then they just overextended. They pushed without heals and just lost a 1v1, and then suddenly the other team has the advantage. It was really weird. It was really DM based.
Yeah, and something that I kind of hate to see here in the matchlogs is advantage lost minimum 10 seconds, 2 on one side, 3 on the other. We had a lot of strange moments where people just decided not to push. A little bit more justified for SLED Gang since they did it like more so on the lead and just decided to stand back instead. But still, it was really good opportunities just being wasted a lot of the time here.
Yeah, well, I just want to see the heal stats and stuff. Got the big shader, 30%. Skyper once again getting tanked. Unrav. This is actually like. I like how it's just Unrav and Skype are getting a lot of heals, and then everyone else, like Demon gets a decent amount, but like the flank doesn't really get a lot. Like Mihu basically doesn't get any heals, which kind of makes sense because I feel like Mihu was always dead or like sacking in the process of sacking and then dying. It was he didn't really have much success, to be completely honest. He didn't have a very good game.
9 and 19 KD is, could be better. Then again, it also depends on like how your team wants to utilize you as a roamer as well.
Yeah. I feel like,
if there's nothing like better coming out of your team for a stalemate, then just throw the roamer and sure it will work, and it just like doesn't work the majority of the time.
I think
that's kind of an issue in and of itself.
Yeah, it was. I think that's the thing that Throssimo did pretty decently was in the stalemates. They were also always really good at denying the sack that was incoming, but that unfortunately doesn't mean much when when you actually fight on the advantage. You lose your players anyway, so that's slightly unfortunate. Ooh, we got some players. This appears to be a lot of players from Throw Samoa up here.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
So we got
hello.
We appear to have the entire team for some odd reason.
Yeah.
So
5 out of 6. The last one's in the route.
5 out of 6. We got one more person who is a bit shy. He'll join hopefully eventually. Is there a chance we will have? We'll see if we can get some winning player interviews.
Wow.
But we currently you see.
You don't even make mid playoffs, and now you have this ego.
Whoa, ego! Come on now. Oh, come on now. I'm not being rude here. I'm just saying we have 2 teams and one team isn't here.
Hey, HiipFire the best, man. Don't say anything against them.
Yeah, tell him. But no. So I guess we only got one team in the interview channel currently. I don't know if we're gonna get the other team. We got the second place Div2 team here. We got Throw Samo. We got the entire roster here for some odd reason.
I'm a Merc.
Wait, sorry, yeah, we got the entire roster minus Yixo and the sub in here instead. So we got
I'm not even a sub, I'm just a Merc.
Sorry, Merc.
A sub in our hearts.
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, I got 31 Ice Noob, Cola, Seb, Shades, apparently. And we got Wild Piggy. So, I know you guys lost, but are you guys feeling pretty decent about this game? Like, you guys had not a great showing against them in the regular season. Were you guys expecting to win this? Is this like a good or bad result for you guys?
We're feeling pretty good about it, really. In the regular season, as you said, we kind of got trashed by them. But, yeah, we're glad it wasn't a roll, really. Kind of disappointed it didn't go to a third map, but I think we did better than we thought it was going to.
Alright, cool.
And the season was super fun, to be honest.
Yeah, we all had a lot of fun. Especially semi-finals.
Semis were the best.
Oh, the semifinals. That was the game against Joe Zone, right? Yeah.
That's exactly right.
That was weird. I was looking, I wasn't really paying attention to the game, and then I just, I look at the Gully Watch game, 6-2. Okay, this is not looking great. And then it's just 5-0, 5-0, man.
Yeah, big turnaround.
How'd that happen?
I think it was their team breaking down rather than us playing well, really.
That's rough.
The goal was just a warm-up.
Yeah, definitely.
I like this theory. Alright. So
we're
getting...
GG, by the way.
GG, please.
Yeah,
GG.
Shades and company. We'll play that across the season.
Congrats.
You as well, Sole.
Thank you.
And the rest of your team.
So now I got 12 people in this channel. We got half of Sled Gang. We got Mihu, we got Soyawolo, and we got
Why is Piggy muted?
Unrav.
I'm here.
Oh no, I thought Wiethoofd forgot to unmute you.
Dom, you wanted to...
Squeeze is coming in.
Dom, you wanted to ask a question before the game started. Can you ask the question now?
Yes. Wolo, how is your name pronounced? We debated about that earlier.
It's Solo Wolo, but you can call me Wolo. I mean, the Solo was back in the old days when I had to add something, but it
so
doesn't matter.
it's pronounced Solo.
Yeah.
I call it
No,
Solo.
it's just a catchy name, I guess. But the main name is Wolo from Age of Empires.
Yeah, we
Everyone calls
were
him Wolo.
confused because, double L in Spanish isn't pronounced L, so...
Yeah, it's not man, but it's fine, don't worry.
Yeah, makes sense. Alright, that's my questions out of the way then.
Is that the... Oh, okay. So how is the Sled Gang feeling about this game? You guys went into this kind of favorite. Oh, sorry, go on.
About the game, I don't know, like we expected, like, no offense, we expected this to go more one-sided, so we didn't expect it to be this good on Granary, honestly.
We expected the same.
Like on Granary yesterday, we got really close to beating Feint on Granary, and we went into it really confidently, but we really couldn't. I don't know. Granary is always like so much momentum of mids and stuff, and on process it was, well, I wouldn't really call it one-sided. It was kind of one-sided, but it was one-sided in terms of getting a point and holding, and not a 5-0 kind of one-sided.
We were trying to play safer, it's the finals.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but that is also
we play
not
differently
us.
normally.
We don't play safely usually.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
were gonna originally run a Skyper medic. And I'm really
Thank
glad
God
we
they
didn't
made
do
him.
that.
Thank God we talked him out of that. It would not have gone our favor, I think.
Solo's a great demo, though.
So apparently we have Sweer as well. We got so many players here. this is the biggest interview I've ever done.
We all want to be
interviews one
interviewed.
by one. Do one by one.
I can't do that. That's gonna be a bit awkward. But
Do the thing that teachers do for middle schoolers, like, what's your name? Introduce yourself.
so just to quickly to close this out for the final question for both teams. So you guys have both done quite well in Div 2. Are we gonna see you guys playing Div 1, or are these teams staying together? What's the plan? Let's go with SLED Gang first.
I'm pretty sure I didn't hear anything of leaving. We're we talked a little bit about it in the WhatsApp chat, and we're trying to go preseason Prem playoffs. But well, who knows how that'll go down? It always kind of depends on what other teams are trying to do that. So
I'd rather not do that.
maybe we'll get into Prem, but I honestly doubt it. I think we'll play Div 1. But who knows if it will be the same lineup. I think everyone's pretty happy with the team, but you never know. If Skyper gets a spot on a Prem team, I wouldn't tell him fuck you for, no swear words.
It's fine.
I wouldn't tell him darn you for getting a spot on a Prem team. Good for him then.
Darn you.
Darn him, dude.
All right, and throw some. What do you guys? What's in your future?
Uncertain, really. This will probably be my last season for a while, and as the leader, I'm not sure what the rest of the team wants to do. I know 31, you want to take some time off. Piggy, you might be making a Portuguese team or something.
I already heard stuff about that.
I think the rest of the core, Sev, Kola, and Yixo, might want to play together again. I think they should play together again. But at the moment, I'm very uncertain about next season. I probably won't have the time for it, and so, yeah, don't know really.
Looking for team, by the way.
Looking for team, by the way.
It's public.
Oh, I got one more question. Since we have a lot of people here who play on Nations Cup teams, how are you looking forward to the matches you might still have to play? I believe some of you guys are still in, basically. Whoever is still playing, basically.
We got I think we got
not the Portuguese then.
I play for the German team, but I'm going on vacation for the next 2 weeks. So
Well,
I'm not exactly sure. I think I only missed one official, and I'm on sub anyways. So
it's
no
good not
comment.
to have you against in the the first round of knockout brackets, because we're playing Spain and Germany. So
I think Rising's better than me. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't know when were we playing Ukraine?
Let me check real
Sweden.
quickly. It should be on top of the ETF2L page. Yeah, Sweden will play the Ukraine.
Ukraine beat Romania, right?
Yes.
Did I?
They did.
I did not see that coming.
That's pretty good.
the Russians.
Yeah, lots of stuff ahead then for people here. Germany, Spain. I'm German, so I suppose I have to look forward to that. Probably will be casting. Let's see how that goes. Let's see if Germany can disappoint one more time this year.
So, what are you playing for Spain?
I'm playing DuMmTm for Spain.
Who's playing Matt?
Why would I? No, I mean, Spain is a little bit lacking in demo, man. Like, we have Traxgate, which is the main demo, but I don't think he has the experience. But he's looking forward to getting higher levels next season, and then he could be in the future. I'm just demo man because I'm the most experienced demo man in Spain right now, so just keep it that way.
Okay.
Right. With that, over and done with. Looking forward to tomorrow. There's tons of things. For one, finally the Prem Grand Finals have been scheduled tomorrow, 20:45, because best of 5 series could go to 5 maps if it comes to it, so they start early. Seven and Swift battling it out there for the Prem Grand Final. And other than that, it's on ETF2L schedule lots of Highlander, because that's happening. And Israel has 2 games, but one is under the name of Forsking, both back-to-back against the Czech Republic, and then the Div1 players semi-final. So they are doing 2 best of 3s in a row. That could be interesting. But yeah, Prem Grand Finals tomorrow. Scheduled out of nowhere, look forward to it. And if you have any last words here, or give shoutouts, I suppose we can do.
Yeah, we need to. This is gonna be this could be potentially get really long. So I would like to ask you all to limit your shoutouts to perhaps 2-3 people. Perhaps not very long shoutouts, or it's gonna go through the alphabetical order / number order, since 31 only has numbers in his name. So 31, you have any shoutouts?
I'll shout out my team for the fun season, and shout out to the other team, and congrats to the other team, and casters as well.
Ice Noob, got any good shoutouts?
Yeah, shout out production for making this happen, and shout out for my team for asking me to work.
Cola, it's your turn.
I will say shoutouts to Max Mumble and Seeds plus Charlie, and then shoutouts for my team for fun season.
Mihu, your turn.
Shout out to ETF2L. I like the dark mode. I think it enhances all of our lives. And shout out to our roster writers. You helped.
Seb, what do you got?
Shout outs to Team Austria barely scraping together 6 players to actually play the season.
Yeah, that was weird. I saw you guys having a lot of medics on the team.
Yep. And it showed.
We got one game, but Shader, your turn.
Shout out to Clark, Carbo, Ixo, Spanny, and Wiethoofd for production.
Sweet, go.
Shout out to my team and all the casters cast this game, and Alba and Smir.
Unwrap.
Shoutouts my team, shoutouts Ringo Circle Jerk, and shoutouts the production for making this cast happen.
Oh, Piggy, go.
Well, shout out to my team. Very fun season. First time I've been able to play a whole season since season 24, so I'm very happy that it was really fun. The most fun I've had, probably. And shout out to my dog.
Shout out to Piggy's dog, dude.
Shout out to Piggy's dog.
Hey, can you just say one thing?
Thank you, SLED Gang, for being such an amazing and perfect season, by the way. And shout out to the Spanish community. Un saludo a los españoles.
I knew some of those words.
31.
Hey, wait, I wanted to say something. Mihu, do you know what your name means in Portuguese?
Is it like I am legal or something?
No, it means piss.
Oh, piss, yeah. Spence tells me that every time he murked for us. Every time Spence murks, he's telling me that.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
beautiful.
a good high note to leave it on.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been Team Fortress TV casting Div 2 Grand Final. Shoutouts to both teams, Throw Some Mo and SLED Gang, for giving us a great series to watch and giving us like 10 people to interview for some reason. And I hope you guys all enjoyed. Check out teamfortress.tv, the site, the Twitter account, the Discord. Check all that stuff out. It's all on teamfortress.tv. And take care. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:30? 8:45? 8:45
Which
p.m.
basically means 9.
Yeah,
in real terms.
8:45, and probably a bit delayed for the Prem Grand Finals between 7 and Swift. Tomorrow will be exciting. You'll see an event come up for that probably later today. So take care. That's it.